You're listening to Hot Topics on Good Mix Radio, hosted by Mike Melody and Sheila Harmony. And each week, they dive into the top trends, pop culture moments, and viral stories dominating the web. They unpack the chaos with humor, sharp takes, and insights you won't find anywhere else.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we try to cut through all that digital noise and really hand you the key insights from what the internet's been buzzing about. And for this deep dive, we're looking at the first week of September. What grabbed people online? Why did it matter? And, what does it tell us about, well, everything digital? And honestly, you're in for quite a ride this time. We've got this really mysterious viral phrase that just popped up almost out of nowhere, plus some pretty big moments for major hip-hop stars. And we can't ignore the streamers, these titans who are basically rewriting the rules of online entertainment. So, okay, let's unpack all of this. We'll get you properly up to speed.
Yeah, and what's really interesting when you start looking closely is these aren't just random trends happening in isolation. They actually connect. They show us these complex patterns, how info spreads, how communities pop up around things, and ultimately how our culture is being shaped, like right now, online. It's a pretty fascinating picture of our digital world unfolding.
Okay, let's start with maybe the most intriguing one. Honestly, it was kind of baffling at first. 99 Nights in the Forest.
When I first saw that everywhere, I was thinking, okay, have I totally missed something huge here? Is this a band? What is this? It absolutely took the internet by storm. So much curiosity. But the big question is, what is it? And why did it get so popular so fast? It's really enigmatic, right? You see it in funny memes, but then also in serious posts. And that lack of clarity just fueled all the speculation.
You nailed it. That ambiguity, maybe we could call it participatory ambiguity. That's really at the heart of it. Its exact origin is still, well, a bit fuzzy. People think it started on a smaller niche platform. But the key thing, the creator stayed anonymous. So there wasn't one clear meaning. And that wasn't a bug, it was a feature. It basically invited everyone to jump in and decide what they thought it meant. It became this sort of shared mystery that people wanted to solve, but also add to. And wow, did social media run with it. I mean, platforms are just flooded with 99 Nights stuff. So many memes. Some were hilarious, like drawing parallels to Cardi B as if she was wandering the forest too. It got weird. And TikTok especially. Its algorithm, the For You page, it just loves novelty, right? So it pushed this phrase into everyone's feed, became this instant shared reference point. Even on Twitter or X, the chat was constant. I saw one tweet that summed it up perfectly. Someone wrote, I'm still trying to figure out what 99 Nights in the Forest means, but it's definitely got me hooked.
That quote is perfect, yeah. It shows it wasn't just about the what, but about the experience of trying to figure it out together. That mix, anonymity at the start, plus this ability for users to just drive the meaning themselves. That made it irresistible. It taps into that human thing, right? Wanting to understand secrets, wanting to belong, wanting to build a story together, even if the story doesn't have a clear point. It's actually quite different from a lot of viral stuff that has, a very obvious joke or message. This was more collaborative.
Huh. That's a really good way to put it. The audience isn't just watching, they're actually defining it as it goes. Okay, so moving beyond these cryptic phrases, these digital currents are also having a huge impact on established stars, their careers, their stories. Let's switch gears and talk about some big news for Young Thug and Cardi B. Young Thug, he's been really active musically lately, putting out new tracks, doing collaborations across different genres. He's really showing off that unique style, that versatility he's known for. And it's working, chart-wise. A lot of recent singles hitting the top 10. Critics are still praising his innovative sound, that melodic trap thing, the vocal delivery. It's still pushing boundaries.
It is pretty striking, isn't it, that his music's thriving while at the same time his legal situation is constantly in the headlines. We've seen all the updates, the court hearings. It gets so much media attention. And what's really interesting is the fan reaction. It's definitely mixed, but for many it seems to have really solidified their loyalty. This whole legal drama playing out online in real time has become part of his whole persona, almost this outlaw vibe that clicks with some fans. It cements his impact. You hear other artists referencing his influence all the time. So yeah, the music and the legal stuff are kind of intertwined now in his public story.
Right. And then speaking of legal headlines and hip-hop stars, Cardi B had some huge news. A major legal victory. She was cleared of those assault charges in that LA trial.
Yeah, and that case, much like Thug's, got a ton of attention. There were these allegations of assault. But Cardi's team fought back hard. They argued the evidence just wasn't there, wasn't sufficient, and they won. The reaction online when the verdict came out, Pretty mixed, as you'd expect, but mostly relief from her fans, huge outpouring of support. And it was interesting, you saw other celebs showing solidarity. Young Thug was actually one of them, publicly supporting her. It just shows how these legal things are now tangled up with public image, with online commentary, celebrity endorsements shaping the narrative as it happens.
When you've got to think, this outcome is going to be really positive for her career, right? That lets her just focus on the music, other projects, without that legal cloud hanging over her. It's a big deal.
Absolutely. And if you sort of step back and look at both Young Thug and Cardi B, their stories really highlight these bigger shifts in entertainment. Both of them are incredibly skilled at using digital platforms, not just for music drops, but for controlling their own stories, or at least shaping them heavily. It really blurs the lines between, old school media and just talking directly to your audience online. Even the legal stuff becomes part of the narrative they or their fans craft online.
Totally. It's fascinating. Okay, so we've seen how an ambiguous phrase can just capture everyone's attention. But what about when that kind of massive engagement focuses on people who came up online, native digital stars? Let's pivot now to the world of streaming, specifically YouTube's iShowSpeed and the streamer Cenat. iShowSpeed, his recent streams have just been huge. Viral sensations pulling in millions of viewers. It's kind of mind-blowing. The numbers are just staggering. Peak viewers in the millions sometimes. And the engagement is intense. It's all about his spontaneous energy. A big part of it seems to be his IRL streams, the in-real-life stuff, and collaborating with other big names, like that Cardi B crossover. Remember that? These moments, like surprise giveaways or really interactive stuff, it creates this feeling that anything could happen. Keeps people glued.
What's really insightful about Speed is that he's more than just a streamer. He's genuinely changing the game for content creation. You see other creators trying to figure out his formula, that raw, unfiltered energy, his knack for creating these main character moments just through sheer chaos. He makes streaming feel less like watching TV and more like being part of this wild, interactive event. You feel involved in the fun, the unpredictability. And that style, even though it's chaotic, it really connects with younger viewers who are used to that kind of fast-paced, high-impact content.
And then there's Cenat. His career's just skyrocketing too, right? Breaking records left and right and streaming. His numbers are also incredibly impressive. Big jumps in subscribers, viewers on Twitch, regularly pulling in tens, even hundreds of thousands of viewers. And he's built this really vibrant community around him, very engaged.
Cenat's approach, it's also high energy, but maybe leans a bit more into deliberate community building. His viral moments often come from things like subbers, these marathon streams or challenges where the whole audience works together. It builds real connection. He's also been super successful with brand deals, sponsorships. That boosts his reach even more, kind of validates him as a major force. So his impact, he's definitely setting new benchmarks for streamers, especially on Twitch. These innovative ways he engages his community, builds loyalty. It's pioneering stuff. He builds real digital tribes.
Okay, so we got the mystery phrase, the music stars navigating their online stories, the streaming giants. What's the big picture here? How does this all connect? What does it tell us about online entertainment now?
Well, the massive role of social media platforms is the connective tissue, really. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, they're not just neutral platforms. They are actively shaping what becomes popular. Their algorithms, which are incredibly complex, are built to find and promote engaging stuff. So they end up amplifying certain things, certain people, certain trends in very specific ways.
Right, like you see YouTube pushing videos with high watch time, which obviously helps someone like iShowSpeed who does these long, engaging streams. And then TikTok, with its For You page, being perfect for something short, mysterious, and shareable like 99 Nights in the Forest.
Exactly. But it's not just the algorithms, it's also us, the users. Community engagement is absolutely vital. When people jump into discussions, share memes, defend their favorite artist, join a streamer's challenge, that collective action is what really blows things up. It's how something niche can suddenly become totally mainstream. It's this participatory element that gives trends their power.
And all this points to those bigger shifts in entertainment we touched on. That blurring between traditional and digital. You have stars like Young Thug and Cardi B using these platforms directly, bypassing old gatekeepers, crafting their narratives, sometimes embracing the controversy.
And it reflects a huge shift in what audiences, especially younger ones, want. They're moving away from scheduled TV, passive viewing. They prefer content that's on-demand, interactive, feels more authentic, maybe even a bit raw. There's definitely a generation gap there, not just in what people watch, but how they watch and engage with it. It's much more active now. It's reshaping the whole media world.
Okay, let's try and zoom out even more. Thinking about these early September trends, how do they stack up against, say, last month, August, and maybe more importantly, What hints do they give us about what's coming next?
Comparing August to September, you see some interesting things. 99 Nights in the Forest actually started bubbling up in late August, but its momentum carried right through, which shows how a good mystery can have real staying power online. Whereas someone like iShowSpeed, his engagement was more consistent, more stable month over month, suggests a dedicated fan base built over time. And you also have to factor in subtle things like seasonal shifts. Back to school season starting might change viewing habits, maybe push more youth-focused content.
So, looking at those patterns, can we hazard any guesses about the future? The massive popularity of Speed and Cenat, it feels like live streaming is just going to get bigger, right? More central to digital culture. And we could probably expect more viral challenges, more memes popping up, but maybe also more of that interactive, community-focused stuff as creators keep experimenting.
I think that's right. And the cultural significance here is pretty deep. These trends aren't just fluff. They hold up a mirror to us. They show our values, maybe even our anxieties. 99 Nights could be about searching for shared meaning or just needing an escape. Cardi B's win and the reaction says a lot about how we discuss celebrity justice online. Young Thug's situation highlights hip-hop's massive cultural weight. These aren't just blips on the radar, they're little snapshots of our collective cultural conversation right now.
It really makes you wonder about entertainment's role, doesn't it? Is it mostly escapism, or is it commentary? Maybe these trends show it's usually both, all tangled up together. Are they just reflecting society, or are they actually pushing it in new directions?
I'd argue it's definitely both. It's a feedback loop.
Yeah.
And that's where things get really interesting, culturally speaking. The long-term impact of these viral moments, these online phenomena, it goes way beyond just entertainment. It changes how we talk to each other, how we form groups, how we think about media itself. That intersection where online culture meets traditional media, that's where the big shifts are happening.
So if we boil it all down for you listening, what we saw trending in early September really shows how dynamic digital culture is. It's this constant dance between creators pushing boundaries, powerful platforms shaping reach, and communities getting actively involved. Understanding how all those pieces fit together, it's not just interesting, it's pretty essential if you want to navigate this constantly changing online world.
And maybe the question to leave you with is this. As these trends keep evolving, keep blending online and offline, traditional and digital, how might they start to change not just what we watch or talk about, but how we fundamentally think about things like authenticity or community or even truth itself in this digital age?
That is definitely something to chew on. A great final thought. Thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive into what made the internet tick in early September. We'll catch you on the next one.